the 10 o'clock news.
A random act of kindness left a Good Samaritan needing a rescue of his own. Tonight, family members talk about the 17-year-old clinging to life after being trapped under a car. Doctors say the outlook isn't good for the teen, but family members are holding on to every last bit of hope. Thanks for joining us. I'm Jordana Green.
I'm Chris Cananglo. The 17-year-old stopped to help a woman change her tire on I-94 yesterday afternoon when they were hit by another car. Now he can't speak for himself, so supporters are getting his story to the public. Laura Yamada is live at HCMC with more tonight. Laura?
Chris, a note about the other victim first. 47-year-old Mariana Duran Mateo. She is a woman that Casey Schlusser helped. She is here at HCMC. She is recovering. In fact, her condition has been upgraded to satisfactory. Casey, however, he is still here fighting for his life with his family by his side.
My sister Lori, my Aunt Donna, my son Zachary.
Standing strong, standing together.
They're a very close family.
Knowing his chances to survive are slim.
If we can use all the extra prayers we can get.
A lot of hugs and a lot of hope.
They're all here for 17-year-old Casey Schlusser, the young man, the Good Samaritan, who didn't think about the dangers, who just did what he thought was right.
Casey would help just about anybody.
On Sunday, he did just that. He stopped to help a woman stranded on the side of I-94 here near Huron. Moments later, both he and the woman he was trying to help were hit by an oncoming car.
He's literally fighting for his life, and he needs everyone's help.
Casey was seriously injured, pinned under a car, badly burned, truly helpless. More than a dozen people, Good Samaritans in their own right, helped him, pulling the car off, waiting for relief. His family says a day later they're still waiting, hoping for a miracle.
We've had people come down that were there at the scene that came and wanted to know how he was doing.
As the outcome seemed inevitable, even before night's end, a family held each other tight, knowing whatever happens, they'll hold on and remember.
Everybody's taken time out of work today to be down here, and good people, just good people.
Now, at this hour, Casey is still fighting for his life. We've been getting regular updates from the family attorney, and they say it is becoming an increasingly difficult fight. However, they say they still have hope, and they want to give thanks to all the people that they say saved Casey's life. I'm Laura Yamada, reporting live at HCMC for the 10 o'clock news.
All right, thank you, Laura. Police are praising the young man for his heroic efforts, but warn even the kindest acts can end in disaster. Officers say the accident couldn't have happened in a more dangerous place. The woman who stopped was in a blind spot. She was also in a heavy traffic area on a major highway. No matter what happens to your car, police say do whatever you can to get out of the way.
Do what it takes to get to the right, to get off the road. Drive on that flat tire. Yeah, you won't be able to repair it. It will tear up the tire. It may even wreck the rim, but that's pretty minor compared to the things that could happen if you don't.
For those would-be Good Samaritans, if you see an accident, call 911. And remember, what looks like a call for help could be a trap. Predators often pull off the road, lift up the hood, and wait for victims to come help them.
What was supposed to be a ride to Valley Fair for 9 kids turned into a scary ride nowhere near an amusement park. Police say inattentive driving on 169 caused the driver of this minivan carrying 9 kids to slam into the back of this pickup truck and then into the back of another truck. Brian Lindquist lives nearby. He heard the crash.
I'm used to hearing the kind of the squealing of brakes because 169 comes down to one lane right down there, but rarely have I heard the crashes.
12 people in all were taken to North Memorial. The most serious of the injuries, a broken leg and a concussion suffered by 2 of the kids. Everyone involved was wearing a seatbelt.
After falling out of a window, a 6-year-old's condition has improved in St. Cloud. Basil McFarland has been upgraded to serious condition. He'd been critical at the St. Cloud Hospital since last Thursday after falling from a 2-story window and hitting a concrete slab below. It happened while the boy's parents were home and their children were playing upstairs playing hide and seek. He suffered skull fractures from the fall. A Ramsey County judge shot down a request to revive the permit to carry law while waiting for an appeal. It's the same judge who declared last year's law unconstitutional. He says he won't leave it in place while an appeal is pending. That means anyone trying to pick up a permit has to go by the rules under the old law before last summer's changes kicked in. Sheriffs and county police chiefs have to use their own discretion when granting permits.
Down in the Northfield area, shooting a story today on a farm, and the farmer was looking at the clouds saying, okay, bring it on.
Yeah, those farmers are ready for the action. Yeah,
yes,
we're getting a little drink, a sip of what we need. You know, for the summer, we're almost 4 inches on the dry side. You can tell by looking at my yard alone. That's the weather gauge I use. It's
a little brown.
It's just kind of a very non-glamorous day today. Mostly cloudy, a little below the average for the high. You see, we got up to 75 this afternoon before things started cooling down. It didn't feel that cool, though, because of the humidity that is back, which makes it feel like summer, like it should on August 23rd. So we are in store for a wet week. No torrential rains, but we will get some bouts of showers over the next several days. And the humidity is back. You noticed it today. You're really going to notice it tomorrow and the next day before it finally clears out around Saturday. But again, we could use the moisture. You can see some of the storms, all of it coming up from the south. Still some stuff out to the west where we're getting some reports of hail in the 3/4 inch size. But look at the storms down in Iowa and Kansas, all pushing up to the north. Temperature-wise, in the mid-60s for the most part. Woodbury warmer at 68 degrees. And that humidity making it feel a little warmer out than it has been lately. Still dry up north, though. 55 International Falls, even at 46 degrees Grand Marais. Okay, down in Kansas, you got storms. Iowa, here in the Twin Cities, some showers. Storms in western Minnesota, North Dakota, it's everywhere. Basically, what's going on is you've got this low pressure pulling it up this way. It's also coming around this way from the high, so it's kind of tunneling up in between these two systems. It's going to continue like this as this low slowly pushes to the east, but guess what? There's another one behind it, so we will have bouts of showers over the next couple of days. Only cooling off to 64 tonight with some showers and thunderstorms. Most of the severity is dying down as the night progresses. Some will make it through till tomorrow morning. Then we should see some sunshine in the afternoon, warm up to 79. It'll be a little muggy. You might want to put the air conditioning on if you've got it. And there you go. Wednesday looks like the wettest day of the week. Showers throughout the day. Nice warm up. And again, it's going to feel like summer because the humidity will stick around until you see the temperatures drop off on Saturday. That's when the humidity goes as well.
Thursday, first day of the fair.
Could see some showers. Isolated, though. You might want, it's one of those things, bring the umbrella, keep it in the car, take a look up. See if you need it or not.
We're day to day.
A couple cheese curds make all the rain go away.
Come in and see us. You can hide in our shelter.
That's
Good
right.
for you.
Thanks, Chris. Brooklyn Park is telling Hennepin County to butt out when it comes to pushing a smoking ban. The county board is considering adopting a county-wide ban. Tonight, Brooklyn Park City Council passed a resolution telling the county it shouldn't take away local authority. The sponsor says it's not about smoking, it's about power.
It's not about whether we have a ban or not. We're not debating the merits of a ban in Brooklyn Park. The Hennepin County Board is doing that.
Bars in Brooklyn Park are also fighting the countywide smoking ban. A petition was sent to the county board telling them to leave Brooklyn Park alone.
There is a search on this evening for a missing elderly man. 84-year-old Wilfred Menard disappeared this morning while delivering papers in Mendota Heights. He was last seen at the Super America at Highway 110 and Lexington, driving his 1999 Subaru Outback. The license plate number is HAJ304. If you spot the car, call the police, please.
Well, you still have time to waffle a bit on who you're voting for president, but Minnesota soldiers better start thinking ahead. Overseas military personnel who want to cast a vote in November should request ballots now. According to Minnesota's Secretary of State, that is. State law requires them to be in by 8 p.m. on Election Day, and because overseas mail can take quite a while, those in the military should send back the ballots as soon as possible.
It is not a case of all or nothing for a soldier charged in the Abu Ghraib prison scandal. 2 days of hearings began with one Army reservist admitting to breaking the law, saying he'll plead guilty to some of the offenses. The judge became angry at how slowly the case is progressing. He ordered prosecutors to speed things up because any more delays could lead to the dismissal of charges against at least one other soldier. The U.S. holds a meeting apologizing for a group of mistaken deaths in Afghanistan. American soldiers shot to death 3 unarmed Afghans this weekend when their pickup truck did not stop at a checkpoint. The military is examining the incident, and they will try to figure out ways to make the checkpoints safer in the future.
Defense lawyers are finally getting their chance to cross-examine Scott Peterson's former mistress. Amber Fry retook the stand this afternoon. Her cross-examination was pushed back until today because of another witness. A cell phone representative from Florida was brought in to testify about calls Scott Peterson made in the days after his wife's disappearance. Last week, jurors heard recorded phone conversations between Peterson and Fry. You know, most students dread the first day of school, but it's a welcome sign for a lot of Floridians because it's better than sitting at home and cleaning up a mess. Many kids headed back to the classroom for the first time since Hurricane Charlie. 7 counties in Florida canceled classes last week because of the storm damage. Schools in the hardest hit areas will stay shut down for another week. 3 instances of crumbling concrete didn't stop Chicago Cub fans from cheering on their team. The city gave the okay for playing ball at Wrigley Field after the stadium passed another round of inspections. Rumors of poor repairs almost canceled some games, but the Los Angeles Times reporter who spread the news said it was incorrect.
Next, we take you up close.
If you work overtime, your paycheck could be changing, but will it plump up or slim down? We decipher the new law.
Plus,
everyone knows how hard it is even to get to the Olympics, so, I mean, like, he deserves it.
3 judges are suspended as gymnastics fans flip over a scoring mistake. Should America's golden boy keep his medal? And the countdown is on. A look at how the great Minnesota get-together is shaping up.
UPN Tuesday. This hot mama is bringing in the bucks.
Who knew you could make a living doing something you love?
Who knew you could make a living? All of us. Then, rap sensation Jadakiss doesn't have his rap down.
Y'all want to go to the Waffle House with us?
I got waffles in my freezer.
Eve. Tuesday night at 7 on UPN 29. UPN 29 News at 10 o'clock is brought to you by Chrysler. This is the 10 o'clock news.
You can practically smell those Pronto Pups cooking. You're looking at a live picture of the State Fairgrounds from SkyTracker 29, where setup is in full swing. It's getting down to crunch time at the Great Minnesota Get-Together. That's right. The 2004 fair starts on Thursday. Tom Halden spent the day at the fairgrounds. He joins us live from Falcon Heights with a look at how things are going. Hey, Tom.
Hey, Jordana. Things are shaping up pretty nicely here, despite the wind, a little bit of rain, and lots of cloud cover today. In fact, things are coming along a little bit better because of our cooler temperatures.
We've had it for 42 years.
Bev Barr knows the fair.
We're down to the 3rd generation.
That's why her lunchbox diner
last Thursday
is already open.
I want like a cheeseburger.
Well, there's a lot of workers out here that need to be fed.
And Bev couldn't be happier to serve them. Those vendors and crews are busy stacking up and setting up everything they need for the 1.7 million expected guests.
It's something like Christmas comes around once a year, the State Fair comes around once a year, and they both seem like there's a lot of new presents to open up.
Rick's daughters helped him set up and can't wait for their reward.
The rides, really excited. More really and more really.
It's been in the works most of the school year.
Leah Hansen's excitement is mixed with nerves as she readies her club's landscape design project.
It's finally coming together and you're seeing how it actually looks in, like how it's actually set up, not just how it's drawn out.
If your quest for everything on a stick isn't exciting enough, fair organizers are preparing for possible visits from President Bush and his challenger, John Kerry.
We have a lot of political booths out here. I think we have like 9, and, you know, anyone's welcome.
And it's that attitude that keeps people coming back year after year.
We love it, that's all.
And if those candidates do come right here to the Great Minnesota Get-Together, they get to try a couple of new items. Of course, everything on a stick I'm about to mention: battered and deep-fried corn, deep-fried Reuben, shrimp toast, and maple smoked pork tenderloin. Again, everything on a stick. Live at the State Fairgrounds in Falcon Heights, Tom Halden for the 10 o'clock news.
Except for Tom Halden. Can't get him on a stick. Should Wisconsin's Paul Hamm give back his Olympic gold? Well, here's the controversy in case you have not been following it. Yang Tae-young was docked 1/10 of a point incorrectly before he ever started his parallel bars routine. That means the South Korean should have won gold and Hamm the silver in the all-around. Pat Rooney of Gleason's Gymnastics School in Maple Grove has been working with gymnasts for 32 years. He says Yang's coach should have known the rules and filed a written protest during the meet.
If they didn't follow the rules, you know, on how to protest that score, then it's over and done.
I think if it was me, I would keep it because, like, you work so hard and you think you got it, and then they're just going to take it away from him.
Well, the USOC has met with South Korean Olympic officials and is trying to find a fair solution, if there is one. Lung cancer patients now have a new treatment option. The FDA approved the drug Alimta for advanced tumors. Researchers found tumors shrank an average of more than 9% with Alimta. Side effects include hair loss, tingling fingers and toes, and possibly even infections. Doctors diagnose about 174,000 Americans with lung cancer each year.
New overtime rules went into effect today, meaning some of your paychecks may be a little more pleasing, while others might bring a few frowns. The problem, the requirements are causing more confusion than answers for many folks. James Ware.
James Ware is a sous chef at a big Washington hotel. He worries about the new overtime rules.
If I didn't have the overtime, my income would be cut at least by a quarter or better.
His big concern, if he becomes a non-union chef, the new rules might cost him 10 hours a week of overtime pay.
All the managers work a 10-hour shift. And unlike the non-union managers, we get paid overtime.
The Labor Department says it's clarifying complex and outdated federal overtime rules. As of today, among those guaranteed overtime wage protections, all hourly workers and anyone earning no more than $23,660 annually.
That will result in about another 1.3 million people getting overtime who don't have it today, and we also think that will strengthen overtime protection for about another 6.7 million people.
But it's not that clear. While labor officials predict that almost no one earning less than $100,000 will lose their overtime privileges, they admit that 100,000 workers earning more than that could be hit. Labor advocates predict that as many as 6 million workers will find themselves fighting the new regulations, due in large part to new management descriptions.
This is going to be a mess because they've said it doesn't matter what degree you have. What matters is what level of knowledge you have. And that's a very hard thing to test. The Department of Labor, for example, doesn't have people who can decide whether a cook has the same skills as somebody who graduated from a culinary arts school.
The new rules specify that regardless of annual pay, most blue-collar workers like plumbers and carpenters, along with police and firefighters, are guaranteed overtime pay.
This issue is expected to play a huge factor in politics during such a tight election year. For about a year, Democrats have been trying to block new regulations that would take overtime from anyone who already has it. And on the flip side, the employers have been asking for some clarification on the rules for a couple of years. So they're saying those were old and ambiguous, and these are much clearer.
Let's clarify the sports scene.
Okay, that's easier.
Week ago yesterday, Indians could have tied the Twins for the division lead.
Tonight in Texas, Twins and Johan Santana grabbed their biggest division lead of the season. John Hank, show and tell next.
Been a while since. And now, UPN 29 Sports with John Hank.
Twins in a stretch playing contending teams. They take 2 of 3 from the Yankees, sweep the Indians. Tonight, leading the division by 7 when the night begins. They open against the Rangers in Arlington. Shannon Stewart opens the game. Second pitch from former Twin Kenny Rogers. Third time this year, 19th lifetime. Stu has led off the game with a home run. It's a 1-zip lead, 4-1 top 6. Already a run in the inning. Torrey Hunter to center brings a couple more home. Rivas and Jones puts them up 6-1. Torrey a double. Nice lead for the hottest pitcher in the league, you know, Johan Santana, who fans 11 in 8, his 14th win. Twins 7-4, 16 games above 500, 70 wins. The series continues tomorrow. Indians host the slumping Yankees at the Jake. Gary Sheffield did this to the Twins Thursday, golfing the home run. Indians lose 6-4. Twins lead the division by 8 on Cleveland, 9 on Chicago. Wow. Winter Park, Mike Tice today alluding to an unnamed player who may be on vacation soon. Coach being diplomatic, of course. That player, second-year tailback Ontario Smith. That vacation, 4-game suspension by the league for substance abuse. A vacation that will cost him over $70 grand in salary. So get to know Moeldy Moore. Vikings getting to know and really like the rookie running back out of Tulane. Third down, short yardage. He's the receiver out of the backfield. New challenge now, more playing time while learning NFL football.
For me, I think it's more of the verbiage and some of the techniques. Just trying to catch on, be fundamentally sound, and then, you know, just relax and let yourself play the game.
Noel DeMore is a great player. He's a great player. He stepped in here, hadn't missed a beat. You know, he's got to hone in on a few protection things, but as far as when he gets the ball in his hands, you know, he's a playmaker.
He's quick. He's got great vision, explosive. I think he's got everything you need in the back, and, you know, he's, you know, borderline starting type back.
Without the blocking of Matt Burke, the Vikes have not been running as much during the preseason. His sports hernia healing. Works today at Winter Park. He'll play 2 series a week from Thursday in Seattle. We'll be ready for the season opener against Dallas. With a potential lockout that will delay or cancel the NHL season, the World Cup has a different edge to it. Exhibition games begin tonight in Columbus for the U.S. and Canada. Islanders Nick DiPietro in goal for the U.S. 1-1 late second. Newest member of the Wild, who signed from Boston, Brian Rolston, the blast in the goal. The U.S. a 2-1 lead. One more mid-third, the old gopher Jordan Leopold in front. 3-1 U.S. exhibition win over Canada. Working out the off-season cobwebs, eh, Brett Hull?
Well, you know, they can say whatever they want. There's no cobwebs. You know, hockey's hockey. It's like riding a bike, you know. Just try to get those skating legs, but most of the guys have been skating, and, you know, just kind of get a feel for who you're playing with.
There's a lot of pride in our locker room. There's a lot of egos that are in our locker room, but everyone seems to kind of put that aside and work for each other and work with each other.
U.S. team training in Columbus. The Russians are training here in the Twin Cities. The first game at the X a week from Thursday, the U.S. and Russia. We will play semifinal games at the X, also quarterfinal games, and one who was very prominent and made a big effort to get the World Cup games here was Herb Brooks. Herbie really tried to get this here.
We should mention the U.S. women's soccer team beat Germany today at the Olympics. That was so satisfying.
And you came in and just...
Oh, I can't stop talking about these women. They're wonderful. They're absolutely fantastic. Way to go, ladies. We'll be right back.
You thought nothing could come between.
Don't forget the umbrella tomorrow, right?
Yeah, showers the next several days. Very summery.
Okay.
And the straightening iron. This humidity is killing me.
We'll all...
From the skyscraper.